Okay. Any Reg A's in the room? Okay, so generally we are following what the statistics are for raises, which are 90% come under 506B and the 506C that we talked about. We always hear about 506B and C, and I think everybody in the room knows 506B, pre-existing relationship, sophisticated and accredited investors, only that you can have up to 35 non-accredited investors, and we talked ad nauseum about the relationship. 506C is accredited only. You can advertise, but you have to go through the third-party verification, which if you're investors, if you've been going under 506B and building all those personal relationships, when you do the hard shift and go to C and advertise, now your investors have to do all this third-party accreditation, and they have to be kind of acclimated to that, which can be stressful on your investor network, right? Or maybe you've already planted that seed from the beginning. But let's talk about what else is there, because it seems like those are the only two solicitations that are spoken about. So what else do we have available to us?
And just to draw back, there's a reason for why 506 is so widely used, and it's federal preemption. And it's a really important concept because in the past, each state would have its own securities law regime, so you would comply with the SEC rules, but then also you would have to comply with the rules of each state. And in 1996, there was a Standardization Act that basically said, the end result of it was that Rule 506 offerings, if you do that, all a state can make you do is file a copy of the Form D and pay a fee to the state, and it's about $200 or $300 per state. So that's a really important concept to understand why 506 is so widely used.
Good point.
Going on to Rule 504 is something that maybe is more useful. It's another exemption, but it doesn't have that corresponding state preemption. And so if you do a 504 offering relying on that at the federal level, you are going to have to look at the laws of each state. And most states do have a corresponding exemption. 504 was made a lot more useful a couple years ago in connection with the Jobs Act. It was increased. The maximum that you could raise under that went from $1 million to $5 million. And so it is a viable option, but I would just say that be real careful about the laws of the states where your investors reside, because you have to pay attention to those.
Why is 504 better than 506B?
It allows for non-accredited investors, really an unlimited number of non-accredited investors. And there's also there's a technical requirement in 506B that if you let in non-accredited investors, you need to get your balance sheet audited.
How much does that cost?
5 to 10 a year.